We started with 8 planes. You know, we keep growing every year, higher and higher and higher. We're up into the 40s, and I would invite anybody who'd like to come and do something different. Once in a lifetime, come out there.
Every year, a group of like-minded pilots gather in a beautiful corner of northern Arizona to celebrate not just their love of flying, but of a very particular small aircraft, the Flight Design CT. This little German-made machine may be small in stature, but it's big on features, and the most popular light sports aircraft in America today, with this event attracting owners from every corner of the country. Like Larry here. He's flown in from Hawaii and has been a pilot for over 40 years. He's just bought his first CT. But what I wanted to know was what made him and so many others choose the Flight Design.
I wanted to do a little exploring for just recreation, and the mission would be my wife and I. And we started looking around, and light sport had come a long ways in the last few years. We had taught various models. I flew several, and when I sat in this particular model, this Flight Design CTLS, it was sort of love at first sight. The stress load with this panel is so much lighter. It's got all the information here. We have the next rad, real-time weather, if there's a cell out there, if there's lightning is an issue, what the winds are. It's substantially easier to plan your trip en route or create an alternate. This was simpler to do with this level of avionics. Is probably going to take leaps forward from here. I can't imagine what they'll do, but they've got a winner for me.
So, the option of powerful avionics seems to have won Larry over. But is that the only reason to buy one?
I think the shoulder space was a lot to do with it. Obviously, when I did the research on it, there was a lot of other pilots that I talked to that also had come to the same conclusions. Why the CT, and it was the #1 seller and still is in light sports. So I figured, well, it's not just me thinking this way. There's a lot of other pilots, previous pilots that have their licenses that look the same way. So I thought, well, it's the right choice, and my wife liked it. So, hey, keep a woman happy. Get her the purse she wants or get her the plane she wants.
My favorite thing about the plane, everybody that flies with me in it, that flies other planes, the first thing they say, my God, you can see out of this thing. It's what you can see everywhere. And that really, even for people that aren't used to flying, they're much more comfortable when you can see. It's a great plane. It handles well, land it anywhere. It burns very little gas, very comfortable, very modern. This plane has a total glass, panel. Now that I bought it, I don't think I would trade.
I wanted something that had plenty of room on the inside. I needed height for the head, I needed leg room, and I wanted shoulder room. And then I also wanted something that had enough fuel on board that I could travel. Well, the CT fit all this. It had one of the widest cabins in the industry at 49.5 inches. It had plenty of headroom, plenty of leg room. My knees weren't up into the dash. We have dual controls, so you can fly from either side. So that was all pluses. The fuel capacity was 34 gallons, so with using 91 octane auto fuel, I had about a 900-mile cruise range, and we cruised roughly about 130 miles an hour for an easy cruise. I also needed something that carried some baggage, because we all go somewhere, we got to have our clothes with us, so my last plane didn't have that option. The BRS ballistic parachute is a standard option for all the Flight Designs, and if you ever had a severe emergency, and hopefully no one ever has to use it, it's there in case you need it. That brings you, the plane, down to the ground safely. The 912 Rotax engine's been out since about late 1989, and it's well supported. There's places all around the country, there's people around to work on it, and it's a really solid engine. It's sold around the world, and it's got a great history as far as being dependable. If people were going to go out today and look for a light sport aircraft, there's a number of things to consider. The type of flying you're going to do. Where do you live? Are you going to fly more or less in just your general area, or maybe are you going to fly more across countries? Do you need baggage room? So it all kind of depends. The flight design for me fits all of those categories. If I want to fly low and slow, I can. If I need some speed to fly from state to state, I can for 6+ hours if I need to. So I'm not limited in many things, and that's where I would recommend that you take a look. I myself went around to many different shows, sat in them, talked to people, had a chance to fly some, and this is where I settled. Now I will tell you the flight design's probably not the cheapest LSA on the market, but I tell you I don't find any unhappy owners.